All right, let's just jump into it, shall we? For folks that have been around a while, this is a new take on an old favorite. For folks that are new to Magic or new to the channel, this is Yorion Chord, or Yorion 80 card Kiki Chord. So Kiki Chord, back when I was traveling around the country to play a bunch of competitive Magic, Modern was the format that I played the most, and Kiki Chord was the deck that I played in the most tournaments. So Kiki-Jiki Mirrorbreaker here. Create a token that's copy target non-legendary creature, except it has haste, sacrifice at the beginning of the next sunset. Kiki-Jiki, when paired with Restoration Angel here, this lovely, gets you infinite 3/4s with flying and haste to kill your opponent. So the Chord part of Kiki Chord that kind of ties the room together, because you'll note we only have one singleton copy of Kiki-Jiki. So we got 4 copies of Chord of Calling here. So search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less. Just drop it right onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So we have both Chord of Calling and then 4 copies of Eldritch Evolution here to kind of tie the room together and find our tools. Past that, the rest of this deck is kind of just like a Naya mid-range value deck. We've got some Birds of Paradise and Noble Hierarchs at the bottom end of the curve here to accelerate a little bit. We got Path to Exile and Lightning Helix for a scotch of interaction. We've got Voice of Resurgence, Seasoned Pyromancer, and Mom and Pop Thopter Shop here to provide a variety of tokens and pressure. And then we've got some other various utility in the deck with our tutors. We've got a Revelark, and a Night Autumn, and a Klothys, and a Glorybringer, and a Thragtusk, and a Linvala. Lots of just pretty reasonable creatures all around. Let's go ahead and hop on into a Modern League here with this one and see how it goes. Remember, chat, the key to not being disappointed in life is low expectations. So expect very little, and you leave yourself a lot of room to be surprised. I have not. These are our first games of Modern since companions were added to the format. So let's see how these go, huh? I would love to play first. I would love to show you the Sky Nomad out of my board here. Sure. So again, these are the types of hands where there's a chance that these hands end up going nowhere. I'm kind of just like crossing my fingers and hoping that whatever deck my opponent is playing, Path to Exile, is going to have a text box. One of those things that kind of transcends formats, whether it's standard, modern, legacy, whatnot, is these interactive decks tend to hope that their interaction just kind of lines up well into whatever their opponent's doing. Our opponent has elected not to play a companion, so I can only assume that this game is unwinnable for them. My opponent has put the slipperiest Bogle into play, chat. And you know what? You know what's really good against the slipperiest Bogle? You know what tends to be sublime against slippery Bogles? Spellskite. So we're gonna use this Eldritch Evolution, and we're gonna go fetch up our main deck Spellskite here. Hey, Quintivis, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. Irate, thanks for the 18 months. Chuki, thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Sometimes Bogles play some 3-mana enchantments, but yeah, Lurrus is probably pretty close to a free roll in the archetype. Can I use that? You didn't need that, did you? Okay. I like the chump check. I like the do you know how the card you just searched up out of your deck works? Check. That was good. Good first game. Has anybody missed Modern? And just can I take a tally from the children in class? Has anybody missed the incredibly riveting and skill testing games that are Modern Magic the Gathering? Welcome to Thunderdome. Enjoy your stay, chat. Lasted more turns than I was expecting. Turn 4, concede. Yep. Clothing's probably more text than Linvala. Yeah, trying to figure out. This is one of the downsides of these Yorion decks, like trying to figure out exactly what terrible cards you're cutting is a real thing. Honestly, Eidolon might be fine. Scavenging Ooze doesn't do a whole lot. Helix at least, like, kills some things. Do you cut Paths? No. So Path and Lightning Helix. 1, Path is better than random other bad creatures. 2, the opponent's archetype often has Godok Teague or Core that draws cards when you cast enchantments. So those are reasons to leave them in here. So meaningful cards we do get to bring in past the Spellskite we already have in the main is we got some Qasali Pridemages, we got some Knight of Autumns. Honestly, the Linvala, they could have a random utility creature out of the sideboard. I kind of want to leave the Linvala in. Probably don't need Thragdad. Yeah, Thragdad's probably better than Klothys. Alright, let's do it. Spirit Dancer, yeah, that's the one. Sniper, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for the 7 months, Wilder. How disappointed should you be for this? I have no idea. Just hanging out, playing some Magic. I got a Path to Exile. I got a Qasali Pridemage. I got a Chord of Calling. Let's do it. Yep. Basic game plan is get Spellskite into play ASAP. All that glitters. You so shiny, Slippery Bogle. You so shiny. Let's open overall. The open was great. Super happy with the product and event we were able to put on. We should know the date for sure for the next open in the next couple of days. Yeah, the opens are going to be events. We're going to be doing monthly opens. So there will be another Hoaglandia open next month. When next month? Either the 23rd or the 26th. Still waiting on that. Or sorry, 23rd or 30th. Sorry, I don't know where the 26th is. 23rd or the 30th are the two dates we're looking at for the next open. Whew! That's a good one. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and play Pridemate here, which Daybreak Coronet here notably has to enchant a creature that has other enchantments on it, which means when this Pridemate shoots the all that glitters, the Daybreak Coronet's gonna fall off. So I'm actually not deploying the Spellskite this turn because I want to destroy the all that glitters in the Daybreak Coronet here, I believe. Yeah, remember there's no guarantee on the 3/2 prize. I think we're gonna have six random folks get 3/2 prizes from the tournament is the plan. They don't have a way to enchant an instant speed, right? No, they shouldn't. So by waiting to blow this up, I get to go ahead and block like this. And then I get to sack this and destroy the all that glitters. So they'll lose their 2 enchantments, and their creature won't deal any damage this turn. Or Spirit Dancer, sure. There was not Kodama. Okay, so we get to path this Spirit Dancer, And then next turn, we get to Eldritch Evolution, the Noble Hierarch, into a Goblin Chain Whirler. Right? I boarded that in. Pretty sure I boarded that in. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. What? Noble Hierarch is evolving? Whirly boy up in your base, shooting rockets in your face. Regazoo, thanks for the 16 months. And congrats on your run this weekend. Beansy, thank you for the tier 2. I appreciate the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. All right. Slow and steady. Moving on up. Didn't even get to show him we had the Spellskite as well. Still had all these, opponent. Still had so many lovelies. Opponent also has a companion, Luris of the Dream Den here. Hawabaji, thank you for the 5 months. Welcome back. Probably because they didn't have anything left over, Green Sky Dragon, and they wanted to deal the most damage possible with their leftover resources. This is big deck energy. I agree. I think I'm going to mulligan this. 5, basically 6 mana sources in Resto. Not going to cut it. Yeah, that seems good. Does the Scavenging Ooze seem good against the Luris deck? If yes, please explain. Which art you like better on the Triomes? I like the comic book ones that we have. They seem sweet. Excuse me? Excuse me? Just a second Bogle deck in a row? Is that legal? Excuse me? I mean, at least we have a game plan, huh? Hey, and this Bogle deck has Luris, just like we talked about the previous one should have had, huh? I mean, this one might get us, chat. They're on, you don't have a Spellskite till turn 3. Turn 3's really slow, chat. You need to understand how fast and brutal Modern is. Turn 3 Spellskite is pretty far behind. Yeah, see, they're beating us because they have Luris. The last opponent didn't have Luris, and they didn't know. Don't tell. Oh! Ha! Got him! Ha! Got him! All right, you old Chord for 2, steal your Spirit Mantle. You love to see it, chat. Man, I am so glad I put the Spellskite in the main deck last night. I was going through the list of creatures I wanted, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put Spellskite in the main. I'm gonna put Spellskite in the main. Oh no, do they have a Path to Exile? They fetched. Are we getting Path to Exiled? I think we're getting Path to Exiled, chat. We could still die. That's so don't stop it. Don't interact with me. Stop it. Get some help. Come on now. This is Modern. You're not supposed to interact with me. I'm supposed to interact with you. Well, you know, we came, we tried, we died. The modern mantra. We came, we tried, we died. Christy will be people asking about open prizes. Christy will be contacting people regarding open prizes later today. At least the games are over fast. Yep, 14 minutes in, heading into game 2 of match 2. Welcome to Thunderdome. Enjoy your stay. I think this is what I did last time, right? I had Klothys. I had Eidolon and Klothys out, I think. It's probably fine. You know what? Maybe I want to leave the Scavenging Oozes in because they're a Luris variation. That's probably the case. Turned into click and concede with about... I mean, to be fair, we won the first match. We've been playing for 15 minutes and we're up a match in the set. Thank you very much. Steven Douglas, thanks for the 22 months. Welcome back. Gotta get to that spell Scooty a little bit sooner, chat. Gotta find the Spellskite a little bit sooner. We're gonna keep this. This is unfortunately only a turn 3 Spellskite yet again, if we find the land, but I think this is plenty keepable. We got the Night of Autumn this time as well. Get a chance to destroy some of the enchantments that they put down. Slipperiest of Bogles here. This is where the Bogles deck draws its name from, for those that are new to the format. The old Slippery Bogle. Perfect. Stuck the third land. Something to note on the Eldritch Evolution card here is this explicitly gets cards that cost or less. So this can fetch. Eldritch Evolution is able to fetch Spellskite when you sacrifice a 2-drop because 2 is less than 4. Quick maths lesson. 2 is less than 4, chat. I'm attacking. So I don't want to block with both, right? Because I want to be able to sacrifice one of these to find Spellskite next turn. Most likely. Acorn is great. We had the Hoaglandia open over the weekend. Went very well. Pretty reasonable viewer numbers. Although I must say, chat, and it makes me a little bit sad. Can they punish an upkeep path? I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe we should have upkeep pathed. I like that. I like that recommendation. Then they wouldn't have been able to do all of these things, and I'd be in a better spot. The more I play and watch the current standard format, the less optimistic I am of it remaining reasonable a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now. In other words, I'm really glad we did our open event as the standard format right away. Thanks for 7 months, Timor. Welcome back. If they have another first strike enchantment here, we're probably dead. Oh, they just get to do that. Right. That's how magic works. So we're super dead. Just the most deadiest dead you could be. The mostest deadiest dead. Maybe we're okay. We might be okay. We might be okay. Let's find out. I can resto my Night of Autumn and kill this trample. Maybe I should have chumped with voices so I had more blocking power this turn. That's so much trample, chat. Okay, so I get to do this and blink the night. And destroy the Daybreak Coronet. I think we're dead because this thing survives because of the Spider Umbra. Yeah, they just get to bring back the Coronet from the bin. Exactly. Man, our opponent is just like 0% to win this without Lurrus, huh? Just like none of our interaction mattered because of this card. Actual none of it mattered. It was lucky for them that they drew the Lurrus. They can't have it every game. Alright, I was going to double check and make sure I don't have anything here. So it's worth noting that if I had... And actually, just to talk about the decision points and the lines here, if I had double blocked with the Voice of Resurgences the turn before I did here, so if I would have blocked with them the turn before I Resto Angeled, I actually would have won this game. And the reason why is if I would have double blocked with them the turn before, I would have been able to chump block with these elementals this turn, and then I would have gotten to untap with Restoration Angel, and I would have been able to Evolution Knight into a Kiki-Jiki to kill them. So the Lurrus ended up making my interaction bad here, but the way in which I sequenced my blocks in these games was bad. And if I would have blocked a turn sooner, I wouldn't have been forced to throw away Restoration Angel to live there, and then I could have comboed them on this turn 6 here. No, because they're going to get to recast the Umbra out of their discard pile, Nathan. Hey, thanks for your 11 months, Hostage. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So again, kind of frustrating. Like, and that's one of the things, right? Like, it's easy and free and lazy to complain about the Lurrus there. But like, when I go back and like look at the decisions that I actually made in that game, it's like, oh, if I make better choices, the Lurrus doesn't matter. That's 80 card Kiki-Man. We are 1-1. We beat Bogles once, and then we punted to Bogles. Punted to Bogles once. Yeah, but what if I don't have the capacity to make better choices? Didn't think about that, did you? Right? Hey, Shepard. Thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. I appreciate the 7 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, sure. That's true too. I didn't talk about that just now. I just haven't played Modern in a long time, right? I just like cast my spell to cast my spell. If I had Path on their upkeep, they're a turn behind on pressure too, and that matters as well. Yeah, I agree. Again, it's like super reductionist and lazy to just be like, I hate companions, and change is evil, and whenever my non-rotating format has new playable cards, I must complain. I must complain. Or we could like sit down and think about like what actually happened, and like, did I have player agency? And yes, I did. And these were decisions that I could do to make like impact the outcome of the game. And like, one of those things is hard to do, and one of those things is easy to do. The lowest common denominator tends to trend. It's just like Obosh Stone Rains. My body is ready to be Blood Mooned. Bone Crusher Giant, sure. Yeah, could be an aggro deck, could be Pillage Blood Moon, could be a few different things. Am I path to exiling this? Probably not. Probably not. Listen, if green-red aggro with a 5-drop in it at the top end is competitive in Modern, this format's probably fine at the moment. And this format shakes out, and this is a card that's competitive in it. Anybody complaining about this format, to put it lightly, is an idiot. Like, come on. Sure, but like, one of the things that, again, is, and this is the thing that I hate about players that seem to love these non-rotating formats, is that the only difference between a format staple or a pillar of the format and a card that needs to be banned is how long it's been legal for. If Lurrus was printed 15 years ago, people would just tell you it's a modern staple and you can't touch it and leave it alone. Leave Lurrus alone! But Lurrus was printed today in 2020, so because it's a new card that's changing what these people are used to, suddenly it's not okay. The only difference between a format defining card and not, and something being okay and not, is the year it was printed. And it's so silly. It is so very silly in my opinion. Yeah, it's good. It's a good comparison. It's the boiling frog thing. The shock is offensive, but the awful thing you're acclimated to is fine. Big agree. All right, what am I doing here? I think we're just going to play Master Chef, add a little bit of seasoning to the battlefield. The question is, what am I discarding to get my Master Chef down? I think it's Larkin Helix. Does anybody want to discard anything other than Larkin Helix? Why? I kind of like the evolution because if I draw one of my combo pieces, the evolution can help me fetch the other. Yeah, exactly. Like the road to victory is paved with a combo. And like neither of these are trampling, right? And like Master Chef is going to make some tokens when he seasons the battlefield. Well. Didn't need the Evo. Should have kept the Lightning Helix. Stupid Hogland. And keeping his Eldritch Evolution. We do have a lot of red sources in the deck. There are a lot of red sources in the deck. One thing I want to keep track of in this league, by the way, is how often do we actually cast this Yorion, and how often were we just playing an 80-card deck that had a 4/5 to look at. So far, the numbers don't look great in terms of that. It's very appropriately aggressive there, killing our Noble Hierarch. Urkadar, thanks for the 33 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Okay, so what's the plan? I think it's attack for 2. Are we dead? No, this is exerted. So this is not untapping next turn. So if we draw a... Oh, that's awkward. I can't resto the Seasoned Pyromancer. Wow! Wow! When they just have... When they have your number in the main deck. When they have your number in the main deck. When they're just like, nope. What if instead you died? What if instead you died? They are playing red-green hate cards, it looks like, yeah. You know, I spent my own money to play this league. I'm gonna concede. I don't want to play against Blood Moons. I added this deck to the queue myself. I'm not playing against that deck. That sounds boring. All right, well, this has been fun. This has been a good reminder of it's been a good reminder of what Modern is. Bogles, Blood Moon. Good lord. Bogles, Blood Moon. Didn't we win that game? I have no idea. Now I can't go back and look either. Now you're gonna make me look at the tape. All right, now I'm gonna have to go back and look at the tape to see if Twitch chat is right or if I missed it. I mostly just don't want to play against Blood Moon, but I'm gonna go back and look at the VOD. Oh yeah, as is often the case, Twitch chat is stupid. So my Kiki-Jiki is in my graveyard because I blinked Seasoned Pyromancer. So you're saying I could have not blinked the Seasoned Pyromancer and played to draw this because then I could have cast the Kiki-Jiki. So yeah, so I could have, we actually don't know the order. We don't know the order of these cards off the top of our deck. It doesn't put them in your hand in order. So you're right. With the Burning Tree Shaman and this, if I neglect to blink the Seasoned Pyromancer, we could draw a land and cast Kiki-Jiki because of the Blood Moon. No, we could have won. We didn't guaranteed win. We could have won. So take a 10-minute timeout. I don't have time for you this morning. So because they played Blood Moon, I could have played to that out by not blinking the thing. But also, I'd like the record to reflect. No, I don't have anything to reflect. No, I'm wrong. Actually, yes. If I don't blink, I could have potentially had an out there. Doesn't matter. It was still boring. I'm excited for all the inevitable thumbs downs this video is going to get on YouTube. In fact, I might just not post this one to YouTube. Bogles twice into Blood Moon. If these next 2 matches aren't incredibly great, I think I'm just going to not post this one. It's not going to get a lot of views anyways. It's going to get a bunch of thumbs down from people who hate Modern. Or people who love Modern and hate that I'm talking about it in the way I'm talking about it. Delver, let's do it. Delve me, daddy. Make a separate YouTube account for bad runs? Nah, it'll be okay. Yet it's honestly kind of impressive that, like, no matter how Modern changes, it's all still just the same stains with slightly different makeup. It's all bad. It's just slightly bad in different ways. If you're not enjoying it, other people won't. Bugger off. Unless you're gonna show me the mythical. Where's the unicorn? Is there anybody in chat that enjoys getting both Boggled and Blood Mooned? Can someone raise their hand? Can I get hands in the air from the people who both enjoy getting Boggled and enjoy getting Blood Mooned? Don't make this out to be a me problem. This is not a me problem. This is a Modern features problem. You enjoy both playing against Boggles and playing against Blood Moon. Good lord, you people need some help. Quarantine is getting to you people. Quarantine. These people desperately need to be let out. They are not okay. They've been locked up so long, they enjoy getting Blood Mooned. I just want to feel something, even if it's Blood Moon. Alright, we're super 10. So far, believe it or not, having a 4-mana 4/5 while making my deck huge has not been good. This is gonna come as an astonishing revelation to many of you, but so far making my deck huge to play a 4-mana 4/5 has not felt good. 5-mana 4/5. Sorry, I don't want to oversell. You're right. It is a 5-mana 4/5. Oh, Time Lord, I'll give you a little bit of the attention you crave. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Thanks for the tier 3 resub. I appreciate you. I think Remorseful Cleric's probably fine. It's a 2/1 that blocks Delver that flips. Exiles their graveyard too. Cloth is actually probably pretty good too for exiling the random lure stuff. Need one more trim here. Probably Eldritch Evolution actually probably isn't very good. You have a lot of counter spells and stuff. What does NGL mean? I feel like a boomer. I have to Google this. Not going to lie. Got it. Okay. Man, these kids and their internet jargon. L320, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This is so weird. It was very quick, but I've suddenly realized why nobody submits Modern decks. Since it's been, you know. This opponent's deck seems sweet. Lurius with Bauble, get that 6/6 value. Double ping land. All right, we get to bottom the Kiki-Jiki, chat. Praise be to the London Mulligan. I get to bottom the Kiki-Jiki. We actually have one more. We have one more Magic Online deck in the queue, and then we're at empty. So we're gonna play one more Magic Online League on Whatever other day of the week that is. Thursday? I think it's Thursday. Double Edge, thanks for the folks. You use Shillionaire on Modern. I don't know. Ask me in a year when you get there. I'm not answering that question now. Cam Hits Rider, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome to Hooglandia. Twitter, why won't you post my gift? My gift. Come on, I have such a funny tweet, Twitter. No, stop it, Twitter. Do y'all still see me? Am I still here? I've dropped 0 frames. Twitter refuses to post my funny, chat. Twitter refuses to post my funny. All right, there we go. There we go. Any chance to use a Malcolm in the Middle gif, huh? Did the other millennials in the audience grow up watching Malcolm? I know I did. For those of you that don't follow me on Twitter, that's probably smart because Twitter's a cesspool and you should follow no one. But there's my link if you wanna appreciate my Malcolm in the Middle gift this morning. Wow. Okay, can I get a flavor judge on this one? How do you drown a spirit in the loch? What do the flavor judges think on this one? It's got to be some kind of foul, right? That's not allowed. It's a magic lock. Okay. I accept your magic lock. It could be, oh, it's holy water. Okay, we're drowning this. How do you grip it to drown it in the lock? Are we physically, it looks like we're physically holding it. Maybe it's a magical hold too. Very, very carefully. J Money, thanks for the 24 months. All about the J Money, money, money. If you can block a spirit, you can grab it. I love it. Love it. I don't know if this is the right play, but it's the play I'm going to make here. I have like 2 more removal spells. So I can still kill their Luris. And whatever they recast with it. I want to work my way up to 5 so we can cast our stupid idiot. My mana has sprung a leak, chat. Yeah, cast mono white rampant growth, eh? 'Cause My mana is weak. Magic is leaking. Got my hopes up for arena. Something like that. Gosh, they said more counter spells instead of playing threats. We're working our way up here. The real question is, do I chord for one? Probably not. Probably not. Okay, so now we have chord for 2 available. So I think we're going to do that. Probably fetch up the old Voice of Resurgence. Then we can untap and play Big Bird here. Money Mike, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think the Winota decks feel like they might have a chance just because of their capacity to like get people. I would be willing to wager that Mutate's gonna fall off pretty hard though. It never really caught on, but I would be willing to bet that like the Mutate decks we've played so far are not gonna be good enough. The big mana decks are really, really good. Mutate the one archetype that the Mutate decks have not felt competitive against is the Fires decks. And the Fires decks are just everywhere and they feel like they're much better than most other things. We're gonna continue to play Standard for the next little bit here on the stream, but I kind of expect to see my stream pivot back in the direction of Historic over the next month. We're doubling up Historic leagues this week. So I'm doing like 2 Historic, 2 to 3 Standard per day this week. We'll probably flip that next week. So our saving grace here could be the fact that they're at 11 and I have Big Bird. Yeah, maybe it's gonna take a rotation for Mutate to really shine. I could see that. Just like Explorer really struggled before rotation happened with that. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what numbers look like, regardless of whether or not Standard ends up good, bad, or otherwise. The next Hoots tournament, the May Hoots tournament will be historic. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Hoots event next month will be historic. Fires was an Eldraine card, right? So we're gonna be dealing with that one for a while, if I recall correctly. Standard Hooch was a big success though, right? Yeah, we had a good tournament weekend. If I'm being honest, I kind of expected. I'm glad with the way everything went and people had fun and Matt and I had fun, but if I'm being honest, I was kind of expecting better numbers than we had for the event on Saturday. Like compared to the historic event at least, like I was expecting it to do a little more. What am I supposed to get here? So, like, they have a Bauble and a Delver that they can cast from their bin. Am I supposed to just go fetch Scavenging Ooze and, like, start eating their bin? I could fetch Seasoned Pyromancer. and... I could fetch Seasoned Pyromancer and draw 2 cards. I could fetch Eternal Witness and get Path to exile the Lurrus. But they have 3 cards in their hand. That's probably it. It's probably Chord for Witness, get Path Lurrus. I expected, I don't know what words came out, but yeah, I expected the standard event to do better than the historic open because of the set release time, but the amount it did better wasn't by the amount I expected it to do better by, if that makes sense. So, like, I expected the open right after the set release to be more popular, but I also, and the second one, once people saw what we could do and there were slightly more people playing in it, but the amount it did better by, I think we had our average concurrent viewer count was like 33 or 30 to 40% higher. It was not that much higher. All right, so you might be getting counterspelled here then. Sure, like by no means like the event was still very reasonable. I consider it a success, and I'm going to do more of them. It's just if anything, my comment here on the numbers is talking about how doing more historic makes sense, right? Like the amount standard was more there was a Channel Fireball event when we did the historic event as well. There's been Channel Fireball events every weekend. So that's the same because that's a wash. In fact, if anything, the Channel Fireball like finals or whatever it was the weekend of the historic one, so that could have hurt it more. It's hard to know. Yeah, the coverage for the CFB events leaves a lot to be desired in its current state. And we've talked about that before, right? Like, their Channel Fireball is, like, almost assuredly doing the best with what they can. But, like, unless they do what I do and make everybody stream, they just can't provide very good coverage. Like, depending on random, sporadic people being willing to stream is just markedly worse coverage than saying I get to pick whichever matches I want to watch. Hey, Bird. Thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think Matt and I were talking about afterwards, and I feel like, especially because we had early, like we had a lot of good matches that we got to watch over the course of Sunday. But like, for example, if every match on Sunday had been like the last 3 rounds, I don't think it would have been a very compelling tournament to watch. And like, as standard goes on more and more, there's a good chance there's just like mostly fire decks that people are playing, right? All right, so I'm going to assume their hand is all blanks. I think that's my plan. I'm going to assume their hand is both 2 blanks, and I'm going to attack with these elementals and see what happens. If these are blanks, I can turn these into 7/7s by courting for Mom and Pop Thopter Shop. Or Seasoned Pyromancer. Seasoned Pyromancer doesn't make tokens. You laddered for 2 hours yesterday, and it was like 90% fires. Yep. And that's why like you know, low expectations for what standard can be is one of the reasons why we did the first open right after the set release standard. Then I said, even before we knew what this could look like, that we were going to be doing more historic later on, right? So I get to eat 2 of their... We get to trade with one and eat the other, assuming they have no removal spell here. They're down to just 1 7/7 for now. I have 2 flying blockers. And then if Mom and Pop Thopter Shop survive to my untap, we get to go ahead and throw a Thopter at the Dream Den. Please continue drawing bricks. Thank you. Necker, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. See, like, I don't even know that we're winning this game, but, like, this is actually kind of an interesting and compelling game of Magic, right? Like, there's some back and forth. We're making choices. We're talking about outs and things to play around. Like, I don't think companions are inherently bad. Like, the companion aspect is way less bad than, like, the getting blood mooned and getting bogled, right? Like, the poor experience this league has involved those, not specifically the companions, right? Nah, I don't think that's true, Rhino. I think if we had a standard Hoots next month or the month after, you'd still have a lot of Fires decks. And even if you didn't have a lot of Fires decks to start, you'd have enough people that show up with them that, like, by round 5 or 6, it'd be mostly down to those. Like, go look at the event from this weekend even, right? Like, I don't think any of the decks that were sweet made it past, like, 5 or 6 wins for the most part. I don't think there's any reason to do that, Dows. I think one, content like that is less compelling to watch. It's less compelling to play into because players want to play in formats and watch formats that they can actually play. So I think rather than doing like standard with quirky ban lists, I'd rather just do historic if historic's in a good place. And, like, for the record, I don't fault people for, like, showing up to a tournament of any size and, like, playing the Fires decks or playing the Fires decks or playing the Wilderness Reclamation decks. Like, something we've adamantly talked about on this channel, like, it's not on the players to make the format fun, right? Players should find decks that they like and play those decks. It's Wizards of the Coast's job to produce things that are an enjoyable environment. Hey, speaking of the Open, there's just Kenneth, the winner with Yorion Fires this past weekend. I don't know if you went back and watched any of the coverage, by the way, Kenneth, but I appreciated your deck name. Culligan's Command, shatter your thing, pick my Luris back up. Yikes. I agree, Percy. Could not agree more. We'll be updating the Open Champion emote. We'll be rotating to Ken's space later today or tomorrow after Chrissy has a chance to do some edits. Players will optimize the fun out of your game. Yep, and it's your job as a game designer to make sure that when players are done optimizing, whatever is left over is still fun. That's not the player's responsibility. That's the designer's responsibility. People can, should, and will play the good decks. We're done at this point, right? All right, I'm gonna play the last one. I punted the second one. See if we can get the last one and get our $5 back. But this is like my quarterly try to play a sweet deck in Modern, play some games, remember what it's like, bow out. Yeah, I agree, Josh VC. When we play board games with friends, like part of me wants to like Google what are the optimal min-max strategies, but I never actually end up doing it because I often end up getting close to first without it. So just keep the playing field fairly level. Also, why tweeting out asking for card suggestions for this deck just reminded me how many terrible cards people love to play. People have an unhealthy attachment to the card Huntmaster of the Fells, and I really hope they print that card into Historic so people can play it in a format where it's playable. It's an okay-ish body against Gruul. No. Two 4s are not good against Gruul. 2 4s for 4 really not good against Gruul. To set an incredibly low bar, Restoration Angel is better than Huntmaster of the Fells in this format. To set an incredibly low bar, Huntmaster of the Fells is worse than Restoration Angel. Okay. I don't know. I paused on my fetch there because I don't know if I'm supposed to path the Sakura Tribe Scout on one here. I feel like the answer is no. I didn't. I mean, there's a good chance Huntmaster isn't playable in Historic. But to set a low bar, it would be more likely to be playable there than in Modern. Wow, that's brutal. So I was gonna be able to have Klothys ramp us into. Klothys was gonna be able to ramp us into Glorybringer, but the relic stops that. That's sad. Does Relic here just exile stuff out of our bin? I'm leaving the white up here so that way we can path to exile a Titan next turn if it happens. Oh. How do you feel about Acidic Slime in Historic? I think Acidic Slime would be a good print. More reasonable ways to attack lands. I mean, to be fair, if you had played during Kamigawa, the flip card thing really isn't that gimmicky, right? Because Kamigawa had the cards that they didn't flip over, but they rotated upside down. They were flip cards before they flipped over. They just had more limited text boxes because you had to fit everything on one side of the card. Yeah, almost none of them were playable. Yeah, Werewolves transform or flip, or turn over Kamigawa cards flip. Yep. Thanks for the very generous tier 3, Vonin. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I don't really have an opinion on JAC. I don't really have opinions on this format in general. I don't know we're going to play much more Modern. I'm finishing this league to try and get my $5 back, but I don't know. Playing tier 2 decks, at least in this format, has not been particularly stimulating. I think playing known, established good decks is probably fine, but off the beaten path things like Kiki Chord and like I know people win with these things on occasion. Magic's a pretty high variance game and all that. But yeah, if it isn't, I'm taking any Magic Online format decks hypothetically. I'm probably gonna reject anything that hasn't top 8'd an event recently though. Playing brews in these formats has been rough. Yeah, and that's the other thing, Zajad. That's a great thing to point out that we often talk about is like it's hard to know, like even and I notice I say top 8 a recent event and not like 5-0 because like anyone can 5-0 with anything if you throw enough noodles against the wall. Thanks for the 7 months, Jack Frost. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So we're going to go ahead and transmute this Teleria West for Summoner's Pact here. Really hoping to draw a copy of... Magus of the Moon next turn. Chord of Calling, Eldritch Evolution, etc. Silly as putty. Thanks for the half a year. How's Magic? Modern's been modern so far today. Can these Scavenging Oozes go the distance? They're going ball speed. Spellskite taking a mutate spell seems not fun for anybody trying to mutate in Modern. Spellskite cannot redirect mutate spells. Mutate says creature you control and own. Oh gosh, they have Field of the Dead in this format too? Yikes. Mutate does target. Mutate definitely targets. It targets a creature you control and own. I believe is the verbiage. Or is it just own? It's one of the two. It's either control and own, or it's just own. And own is definitely included in the text box. I don't remember if control is it just own? Yeah, I think we remember talking about this and concluded we could mutate onto one of our creatures that they had stolen. I think was the conclusion we came to on stream the other day. Non-human. Yeah, obviously non-human. Maybe I should grab a red source there, so I don't have to give them a life. Hopefully that doesn't matter. Thanks for 13 months, Toe Smasher. Yeah, we're doing all right. No, we did not get a chance to do that, Fantima, unfortunately. So Spellskite here, able to kind of block the handwear battlements here from giving something. Yeah, wow, this that one point of life is actually going to totally matter, right? Because this isn't lethal next turn now. Yeah. So the Spellskite prevents us from being attacked by another Titan next turn, and the fact that I gave them a life with this rather than fetching a Stomping Ground here is probably going to be the difference between winning and losing. Good chance that being that 1 point's going to really matter. I was in my head when I clicked the forest, I was like, oh, I could draw Magus later, so I want my basics, but that doesn't matter, and we're ideally just killing them the following turn, and now I can't. They're gonna like play another Titan and we're gonna lose. Or even just like make zombies and then we lose. Whereas like they'd be dead on board with the Glorybringer had I not given them a point with the Grove. All right. Wow. Hashtag sometimes lucky. We take those around here. Think I'm forgetting anything here. Scavenging. I feel bad trimming a Scavenging Ooze after they just beat down there. I guess Pia and Kiran Nalaar don't do much here, right? Let's do this. Bring in all of our various artifact hate. Bring in Helix to kill their 1-drop. Flash. Be a little bit of reach. Magus the Moon. Obviously our all-star tutor card when we're not comboing. This hand doesn't do anything, right? This hand also does nothing. gonna keep the Mana Dorks and the resto. The Mana Dorks mean that if we find like an Evolution or a Chord, we can go find Magus. You know, we're 1 and 3 in this league. We're playing for $5. Yeah, this is the last match of this set. As always, if you're wondering what we're streaming when, my website has my schedule of not only when I'm live, but what I'm live with when. By the way, does anybody know what was the top 8 from the Channel Fireball event this weekend? Was it drastically different than the Hoaglandia Open? Yeah, I'm moving back to double historic every day this week. So we're past the first week and a half of standard. We're going to slowly pivot back to doing more historic. So we're going to do 2 historic and 2 to 3 standard a day this week. Next week we'll do 2 to 3 historic and 2 standard a day. No, not really, Percy. Like I said, we talked about different things about the Open. I'm very happy with how the Open went yesterday. The one thing that just kind of surprised me personally, at least, was I was expecting new standard. I was expecting new standard to kind of blow away our historic numbers, and it really didn't. Which, in a way, I think says a lot about historic and the interest in that format, at least among people here on my channel, right? Four Fires of Invention, Temur Reclamation, Blue-White Control, Rakdos Aggro. All right. There is red in every. It is the color of the morning. That is definitely true. Hey, that's a good draw. I would like to kill. Do I kill Amulet or do I kill Dryad? They didn't play a land. Do I just kill the Dryad here? I'm gonna get to blink and kill the other one next turn. Is there a rush to kill the Dryad? Killing the Amulet's probably better because it kills their mana in the short term. I guess this kills their fixing, though, if they have other colors of stuff. I think I'm going to kill this because it's fixing. It also lets me attack for 1, which is nice. I think it's pretty marginal either way here. And then I have Big Bird waiting in the wings here to blink the Night of Autumn again next turn. Sounds good, Mafia. Will do. Yeah, depending on what they do, Mr. TC, we can blink the night twice, yeah. It's technically more damage to attack with both, right? Yeah, who cares? It's gonna be alright. Big Bird hit play. We get to go ahead and destroy the amulet. We get to resto, blink the night, and turn it into a 4/3. You want to blink the Sky Nomad? Why? Kill another thing they might play? Sure. Didn't matter. Yay! We went 2 and 3. I mean, we quite possibly. So, like, we went 2 and 3 in matches played. I punted one of our matches against the second Bogle player, and then I punted our match against the second Bogle player, and I conceded a match because I didn't feel like playing against Blood Moon in just peak Hoaglandia fashion. So, I don't know. It's probably fine. I feel like, I don't know, Modern, I'm pretty past. Once upon a time, you had to experience Modern if you wanted to play a variety of Magic formats. And the fact that we now have Standard and Historic and Pioneer that are 3 pretty different things that I can all play and never get Blood Mooned and never get Ensnaring Bridged. The novelty of having to experience that and knowing that I don't have to play a variety of Magic formats, it really, yeah, I think I'd rather play Pioneer on average. Like, I like making choices, and like, so much of Modern is just like, there's so many random things where just like, none of it matters, or like people are trying to lock you out. And that's even before you get into like the Trons of the format. So I think overall, like, I'm kind of just over what's going on in this format for the most part. Like I said, once upon a time, you had to like slog through the bad matches to get to the reasonable ones. And like, honestly, I'd rather play against Inverter than play against Blood Moon. And that's definitely a super personal preference. You can feel free to disagree on that. I know there's some people that they love casting Blood Moon. Some people have said, will claim they like playing against Blood Moon, but those people are probably sociopaths or liars. Like, sitting there not being able to cast any of your spells isn't particularly interesting or engaging. Lingering Souls would be a great one to see printed into Historic. Would love that. And that's one of the cards I think I would love them to go through Innistrad and pick out all the sweet cards that aren't busted from Innistrad and put them into Historic via anthologies. Delver of Secrets, Huntmaster of the Fells, Lingering Souls, those types of cards. I think they should skip the Snapcaster Mages. They should skip Liliana the Veil. They should skip Faithless Looting. They should skip Gristlebrand. Yeah, Heartless Summoning, Restoration Angel. Yeah, I would love if we had like a werewolf anthology. In fact, you know, Jumpstart is a thing coming up that's focused around different tribes, right? I actually would not be surprised if we saw a werewolf Jumpstart as one of the tribes for it, right? Like, werewolves are like a peak casual type tribe. And Jumpstart, all the Jumpstart cards are going to be legal on Arena and Historics. Yeah, I would kind of be shocked if they did. Like, maybe they don't do it because they don't want to deal with printing flip cards. Like, maybe that's a holdup. But yeah, we're getting Jumpstart at some point this year. I wouldn't be surprised if it's delayed because of everything going on in the world in general. But yeah, I would love it if we got Huntmaster and a bunch of the sweet werewolf cards into historic. All right, what are we doing? I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I get things set up and flipped over. We're going to be moving on over to Arena for the rest of the day. We got a couple of historic decks and a couple of standard decks still. Getting back down to a more normal stream schedule. Going to try and be live for less than 8 hours today. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Don't go anywhere.